Check out this great black bear I got last spring. Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table. Despite what you may have heard, bear meat is delicious and we love using it in our recipes. Today we are making a Pinoy style bear skewer. I'm sure all this hard work will have been worth it. Outdoorsmen have been providing fresh food for American family tables for generations. Hunting and fishing is a way of life for our family, and we enjoy cooking delicious fish and game meals. We want to share our recipes with you. This week we are making Pinoy style bear skewers, Chinese stir-fried noodles, fresh mango salad, and for dessert, balsamic strawberries on ricotta cheese. This is Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table. Welcome to another edition of Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table here at Whitewater Lodge on the banks of the Wenatchee River. This is a great place for a small family gathering. And Vicki and I love coming here. We're really thankful that Tim, our buddy, allows us to come cook it here at the lodge. We just love this place. Today we're going to make a Pinoy style bear skewer. We're going to make Chinese stir-fried noodles, a fresh mango salad, and then Vicki's going to make this great balsamic strawberries on a ricotta cheese. It's going to be wonderful. So today I'm going to start out with some bear meat, and I'm going to make this Pinoy style skewer, and here's what you'll need for the marinade. About 4 bear steaks or 2 black bear backstraps, soy sauce, ketchup, sriracha, sweet chili sauce, vinegar, brown sugar, minced garlic, salt and pepper to taste, half cup of orange juice, a half onion. I'm just going to cut these up into about 1-inch pieces that will easily fit on wooden skewers along with an onion. I need to sharpen my knife a little bit. I'm going to use the work sharp. I'm going to give it a couple passes. That'll do. That's quite nice. A lot of folks I know have said to me, oh, I just really don't like bear meat. For me, any wild game has a lot to do with how you handle the bear meat right after the harvest. And I think a lot of people just don't get it cool in time, or they maybe leave the hide on. Maybe they don't clean it up well when they get home. I think it has a wonderful flavor. Now, the one thing about bear meat I will say, compared to other game animal, is it is tough. You want to consider ways that can take some of that toughness out. So what we're making today is this skewer that has this marinade that will help break down some of the fibers of that meat. Okay, I have it all cut up there. And now what I'm going to do is place it in a sealable plastic bag. We're going to put in a lot of liquids in here, and we don't want it to spill all over the place. Now that I have it in the bag, I am going to add a little bit of our Northwest steak seasoning. I like it because it has a little bit of smokiness and a little bit of heat, and a lot of what we're making with this will have some heat to it. The next thing I'm going to do is cut up an onion. We just want to cut these into about 1-inch pieces. The reason we want it kind of coarse is because I'm going to separate these. We're going to use these on the skewer like every other piece of meat. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mince some garlic. So we just give these a little smash. I'm using about 3 cloves of garlic. Okay, we have that all in. Next thing I'll do, since I'm cutting, is a lemon. Squeeze that right in. Okay, so we got the juice of our lemon in there. Now we start adding our wet ingredients. Let's go with a half a cup of soy sauce. We have a 1/4 cup of white vinegar. We have a half a cup of orange juice. Now you could use a little bit of mango orange juice or something like that. A sweet chili sauce. And then a half a cup of ketchup. And then a sriracha chili sauce. And then some sweet. We're going to add half a cup of brown sugar, and then salt and pepper to taste. And I have about a teaspoon of each. All right, and we zip that up. Last thing to do is mix this all around. Get all that bear meat coated. And what you want to do with this marinade is let it rest in the refrigerator for about 24 hours actually. So I'm going to put this in the fridge, let it rest, and then tomorrow when Vicki and I come over here, it'll be all ready to go. Coming up after the break, I visit with Dr. Patricia Ortiz and learn about trichinosis and how to avoid its ill effects. And I make Chinese stir-fried noodles. Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table is brought to you by Worksharp, Micklich, Harrod Outdoors Online Store. This is Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table. Today I'm with my friend and longtime family physician, Dr. Patricia Ortiz, and thanks for taking time to meet with me today.
My pleasure.
Yeah, so we got a bear and we've been making a lot of great recipes with it, but we wanted to know about trichinosis. Know about it, but wanted to know what it really is.
Well, trichinosis, which is the actual name, also known as trichinosis, is an infection that humans can get as well as lots of other animals. And it comes from a nematode, which is a roundworm. And the way people get infected is just like other animals. You eat meat that have the larvae in it.
Yeah, so when they ingest it, or if we ingested it, it makes its way into the muscle, isn't that right?
Yes, that's right. It goes into your stomach acid breaks down the covering on the larvae, sets it free. It goes into your small intestine, burrows through the wall of your small intestine, and then from there gets to the bloodstream and can travel to your muscles.
It's not normally fatal though, right?
No,
Just make you sick.
It can be fatal, but that's pretty unusual.
Rare.
You can get those stomach-related symptoms or later on the muscle-related symptoms.
Once you've been sick with it once, can you be sick again?
Absolutely.
You can, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Because I've heard that once you've had it, you kind of had it and you don't worry about it so much.
You form antibodies, but you can still get
sick.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so the best way to fight against it when we get wild game, especially bear meat, is what?
Cook it well, because really the risk is with undercooked or raw meat, because heat is going to kill those little larvae in the cysts.
And so you recommend a probe?
Yes, use your thermometer because that's really the only way. You cannot guess the meat temperature. You want to get it up to 160 degrees at least internal, and preferably 170 degrees Fahrenheit internal temperature.
All right, so no rare or medium rare bear meat.
Nope, not today.
All right, well, we'll make sure we do that. Well,
Sounds
thanks
good.
for taking time to visit with me.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure, and happy hunting, happy eating.
Thanks.
Stay safe.
Yeah. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Whitewater Lodge. I'm going to get ready and make my Chinese stir-fry noodles. And I've just completed boiling up the noodles. What you usually do with rice noodles, you soak them for about 10 to 15 minutes and then just boil them for 2 to 3 minutes. I also have a pan on the stove with oil heating. And here's what you'll need for your stir-fry noodles. 1 package of Chinese rice noodles, vegetable oil, garlic, onion, soy sauce, shiitake mushrooms, carrots, cabbage, salt and pepper to taste, chicken broth, peanuts and green onions for garnish. Okay, to start out with, I'm going to chop up some garlic and some onions and we're going to get those fragrant. So I've got 2 cloves of garlic. So I'm just going to leave those fairly rough. Go ahead and cut up this onion as well. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to leave these a little rough chopped. I'm just going to add these to my stir-fry pan. Oil's nice and hot. Okay, now I'm going to work on the carrots and the cabbage. I've got some pre-cut carrots. And now the cabbage. I just want to thinly slice it as well. Now I'm going to add that to the onions and garlic. Smells wonderful over here. So now I'll do the shiitake mushrooms. Everything's looking great over here. I'm gonna add my salt and pepper. I've got about a teaspoon of each. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now what I want to do is add the noodles back. I'm going to sprinkle these along with some peanuts. Now we'll add about a cup of chicken broth. You could add a little more if you like. Well, this looks like it's pretty much done, so I'm just going to return this to the bowl and add my toppings, and Vicki can start making the mango salad. Coming up next, Vicki starts the strawberry dessert and then prepares a fresh mango salad. Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table is brought to you by Worksharp, Micklich, Harrod Outdoors online store. This is Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table.
I'm going to get started on the dessert, which is balsamic strawberries with ricotta cheese. And I start it now because it needs to sit in the refrigerator for a little while. It's a really good dessert with a meal like this because it's very smooth, not very sweet, but it really cuts some of that spicy and that tangy taste. Here's what you'll need. You'll need ricotta cheese, honey, vanilla extract, balsamic vinegar, sugar, strawberries, and basil. So in my bowl right now, I have about a cup of ricotta cheese, and I'm going to start mixing that to get it nice and smooth. And as I mix that, I'm going to add in some vanilla. And then I'm going to add the sweetener, and in this case, it's going to be honey. And now I'm going to give it a good mix so it's nice and creamy. It's starting to get very smooth and creamy looking. So I think it's about done, and I'll go ahead and put that in the refrigerator and get it chilling while I start making my salad. I'm going to get started on my fresh mango salad. Here's what you'll need: 4 mangoes, fresh lime juice, extra virgin olive oil, red pepper flakes, chopped fresh cilantro, chopped green onions, and ground black pepper. So a mango is a really different fruit, and we don't use them often, but there is kind of a knack to cutting them. First thing I do is I cut the bottom off, and then I turn it to the side where it's kind of oblong, and I cut the side. They call these cheeks, and I cut it around like that, and then I turn it and do the same on the other side, and I can kind of feel that pit because there is a solid pit in here. Then I go down the thin side and I slice right around the pit on that side, and then the other side as well. What you do is you take your little cheek, they're called, and slice a little grid, not all the way through the skin, just right up to the skin. Cut some slices one way, and then you turn it and cut slices all the way to the skin, but not through the skin. And then you do it the other way, and then you turn it inside out. And if the mango is good and ripe, these will pop right off. This one, not quite ripe, so I'm just going to cut those little squares right off into my bowl with all the rest of the mangoes that I have already done. Okay, now I've got just about all my mangoes in, and I'll start adding the rest of my ingredients to my salad. First thing I need to do is chop up about 2 tablespoons of cilantro. I love the smell of cilantro. All right, and you just drop that in with the mangoes. Then what we're going to do is juice a couple of limes and squeeze that juice right into the bowl with the cilantro and the mangoes. All right, this is my second lime. Lime juice always goes so well with cilantro, and it really adds a tang to these sweet mangoes. All right, the next thing we'll add is some salt and pepper to taste, close to a teaspoon or so of each, and I just throw that right in. And then a few tablespoons of olive oil to let it all stick together. And now the spicy part, a little bit of red pepper flake. If you don't like too much, don't put as much in. We like it a little spicy, so we're going to add quite a bit. Then I'm going to give this a quick stir. And then the last thing I'm going to do is slice up a little bit of green onion to put in there just to add an extra little bit of flavor. All right. I'll just mix this around and set it in the fridge until everything else is ready. That smells good.
Coming up after the break, the bear skewers are assembled and head to the grill. Our meal is served and we enjoy the beautiful Wenatchee River. Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table is brought to you by Worksharp, Micklich, Harrod Outdoors online store. This is Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table. All right, well, it's time to get the bear skewers on the barbecue. And I've got my bag out here and I'm assembling the skewers. So a piece of bear meat, and then an onion, and then a piece of bear meat. I'm using wooden skewers, and one thing I do before I start this process is I soak them for about a half an hour in water. That way when you put them on the barbecue, of course, they won't burn. This just smells so good. Oh, you folks were gonna love this recipe. It's wonderful. Let's continue this combination of meat and onions. Vicky's going to be excited about this. It's like I'm down to about my last piece. Now you can save the marinade and use it to baste these as they cook. So don't throw that out. And you notice I've used a little bit of a bowl here to help, because that bag just wants to fall over. All right, that was the last piece. I'm going to head on out to the barbecue. All right, well, I've preheated my grill. It's nice and hot. I'll turn it down just a smidge, and we'll go ahead and get these on here. There we go. That looks very good.
While Richie's outside working on the skewers, I'm going to finish up our dessert. So I had 2 tablespoons of sugar in with 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, and I just heated it up so that the sugar would dissolve. And I'm going to let that cool for a little while. And I'm going to finish this up by putting some ribbons of basil. Just slice the basil up into little ribbons. I just put some basil leaves together and give them a little slice. And then I add some strawberries that I've sliced kind of thick. I don't want them too thin. Then I'll grab my cooled balsamic sugar combination and put that in and give it a little toss. I take some of this ricotta cheese that I mixed with honey, and I put that in a little dessert glass. This is nice and smooth and creamy. And then I take a few of these strawberries and basil and the balsamic and set it right on top. Pretty little dessert. All right, I'll check to see if Richie's done with those skewers yet.
And I'm just going to add a little bit of this Great marinade. Just give it a new sheen. And this gas grill cooks pretty hot, so it doesn't take too long on a gas grill. All right, next thing I'll do is check the temperature here in just a minute. I'm gonna check these. That's plenty. I'm gonna go ahead and take these off. The reward for climbing those steep canyons on that bear hunt is to share a delicious meal with my wife. Oh, look how nice the river is.
Oh, it's beautiful out here.
Perfect.
Oh, what a nice evening. That is good.
That's delicious.
Does have a little bit of a bite to it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
All right. Strawberries and cheese, huh?
Yeah. That's really good.
And so ends another journey from field to table.